Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita as it is. By reading for Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter. By seeing the universal form, what is the feeling of Arjuna? Arjuna is expressing his feeling. Adrishta purvam rishitoshmi drishtva bhayena cha pravathitam manomi tadeva me darshayadeva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasha. Adrishta purvam, never seen before. Rishita, gladdened, asmi, I am. Drishtva, by seeing. Bhayena, out of fear. So also, prabhatitam, perturbed, mana, mind, may, my. Tat, that, ever certainly, may, unto me. Darshaya, show. Devarupam, the form, O Lord. Deva, O Lord. The rupam, the form. Prasida, just be gracious. Devayish, O Lord of Lords. Jagannivas, O refuge of the universe. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. It is natural. When you see this type of thing, fearful, everybody is entering in Krishna's mouth, the mouth of the universal form. It's fearful. But at the same time, that powerful person is my friend. At the same time, he's also happy, glad, and powerful. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend. And as a dear friend, he is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Krishna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing that universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Yesterday we read, sometimes out of friendship, Ajanato Mahimanam Tavedam, but not knowing your real position. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayan form. Thus his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. His fear, I have committed offense. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayan form, because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary. As the material world is temporary, but in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with 4 hands as Narayan. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and each of them Krishna is present by his plenary manifestations of different names. Thus Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is four-handed, but the four hands hold different arrangements of symbols. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. The conch, mace, lotus, and disc. According to the different hands, these four things are held in. The Narayans are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests to see his 400 feature in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Also in Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, both the books Prabhupada has nicely explained. And by holding different weapons in different hands, their name is different. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Shankha, Gada, Chakra, Chakra, Padma, Gada, Shankha. Different holds, different name. Kiritinam Godinam Chakrahastam Ichhamitam Drushtum Aham Tathaiva Tinaiva Rupena Chaturhujena Sahasravaho Bhava Vishwamurti. Kiritinam with helmet, Godinam with Gada, with club, Chakrahastam, disc in hand. Ichhami, I wish. Tvam, you. Darshitum, drashtum, to see. Oh my. Tatha eva, in that position. Teno eva, in that. Rupeno, form. Chaturbhuj. Chaturbhujana, 400. Sahasrabaho, 1,000-handed one. Bhava just become Vishwamurti, universal form. It is clearly said, Chaturbhujana, 400 form, I want to see. You are Sahasrabahu. Krishna is both-handed. Now universal form, Sahasrabahu. So he told them, okay, I have seen your 200 form. You are showing your 1,000 form. Please show me your 400 form also, Chaturbhujana. The universal form, O 1,000-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form with helmeted head and with club, wheel, cones, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms. And the main form are those like Rama, Nishinga, Narayana, etc. There are innumerable forms, but Arjuna knew that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayana. This verse establishes without any doubt the statement of Srimad Bhagavad that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and all other features originate from him. This is not different from his plenary expansions and his God in all of his innumerable forms. In all of these forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who knows Krishna becomes free at once from all contamination of the material world. Now, after the request, Krishna is showing his 404. Sri Bhagavan Vach. Maya prasannena tavarjunedam rupam param darshitum atma yogat tejo mayam vishwam anantam adyam janme tat annena na drishta purvam. Sri Bhagavan Vach. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Maya prasannena, Maya, by me, prasannena, happily. Tava, unto you. Arjun, Arjun, idam, this, rupam, form. Param, transcendent. Darshitam, shown. Atma yoga, by my internal potency. Tejomayam, full of effulgence. Vishwam, the entire universe. Anantam, unlimited. Adyam, origin. Jat, that is. Me, my. Tat annena, besides you. Na dishtapurvam, no one has previously seen. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency the Supreme Universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Purport. Arjuna wanted to see the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Krishna, out of his mercy, upon his devotee Arjuna, showed his universal form, full of effulgence and opulence. This form was glaring like the sun, and its many faces were rapidly changing. Krishna showed this form just to satisfy the desire of his friend Arjuna. This form was manifested by Krishna through his internal potency, which is inconceivable by human speculation. No one had seen this universal form of the Lord before Arjuna. But because the form was shown to Arjuna, other devotees in the heavenly planets and in other planets in outer space would also see. I'm reading again this statement. Sometimes question may come, who has seen this form, universal form? Krishna is saying, I am only showing you. Again, Arjuna says, everybody is fearful. So that means so many people are also saying, how to solve this problem? Krishna is giving answer. Who was giving answer? Other devotees in the heavenly planets and other heavenly planets and in other planets in outer space would also see it. Yeah, no one had seen this universal form, Lord, before Arjuna. No one had seen this universal form of the Lord before Arjuna. So that is also true. No one has seen. Also, for heavenly planets, some are also seen. They had not seen it before, but because of Arjuna, they are also able to see it. Those who are seeing from heavenly planets, they have not also seen. Now, question may come. We have heard so many times universal form, universal form. Mother Jashoda saw in front of Krishna's mouth. So that is in childhood. Mother Jashoda has seen. That means universal form is so big. You can see it in different angles. Whatever Arjuna is saying, that's seen as universal. They had not seen it before, but because of Arjuna, they were also able to see it. In other words, all the disciplined devotees of the Lord could see the universal form which was shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Krishna. Someone has commented that this form was shown to Duryodhana also when Krishna went to Duryodhana to negotiate for peace. Unfortunately, Duryodhana did not accept the peace offer, but at that time Krishna manifested some of his universal form. They are also universal form, it's another universal. But those forms are different from this one shown to Arjuna. It is clearly said that no one had ever seen this form before. I think this is clear. There is no confusion. So many places we see seen in universal form, and Gita Krishna said nobody has seen before. Text 14. न वेदुजुक्का उद्धर्नुई न दानुई न वेदुजुग उद्धर्नुई न दानुई न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभि उग्रई एवं रूप शक्य अहम निलोके दृष्टुम तदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर दृष्टुम तदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर No, never. Vedo Yajna by sacrifice. Udhanoi or Vedic study. No, never. Danoi by charity. No, never. Chols. Kriyavi by pious activities. No, never. Tapovi by serious penances. Yes, like Danui, Udhanui, all this means by. No, never. Chols. Kriyavi by past activities. No, never. Tapovi by serious penances. Ugroi, severe. Evam rupam in this form. Shakka, can, able. Shaksham, aham, I. Niloke in this material world. Drashtum, be seen. Tat, that you. Annena by another. Kuru Pravira, the best among the Kuru warriors. Kuru Pravira. Or doing another is Kuru Pravira. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has seen this universal form of mind. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world. The divine division in this connection should be clearly understood. Who can have divine vision? Divine means God. Unless one attains the status of divinity as a demigod, he cannot have divine vision. And what is a demigod? It is stated in the Vedic scriptures that those who are devotees of the Lord Vishnu are demigods. Definition of demigods, Veda said, Vishnu Bhakta Smrita Daiva. Vishnu Bhakta Smrita Daiva. So many times this definition comes. Who is Devata? What is the definition of Devata? What is devotion? Simple definition. Vishnu Bhakta Smrita Daiva. Those are devotee of Vishnu, they are Devata. Or Ashurastat Vivarjaya. Ashurastat Vivarjaya. The opposite. That means those who are not devotee of Vishnu, they are Ashura. Ashurasta Viparja. Like Nishangadi. He knew so much philosophy. What is body? What is divine vision? Body and soul. What is super soul? He knew all these things. But he was not devotee of Vishnu. He cannot tolerate Vishnu. That is why he was. Those who are atheistic, that is, who do not believe in Vishnu, or who recognize only the impersonal part of the Krishna as the Supreme, cannot have the divine vision. It is not possible to decree Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. It is not possible. Also, Shishupal was worshipper of Vishnu, but he did not accept Krishna as Vishnu. That is, he is also Ashur. And Acharya said, those who accept Krishna, but not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also Ashur. And our brother said, if somebody accepts Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not accept Nityananda, he is also Ashur. It is not possible to decry Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. One cannot have the divine vision without becoming divine. In other words, those who have divine vision can also see like Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita gives the description of the universal form, although this description was unknown to everyone before Arjuna. Now one can have same idea of the Vishnu after this incident. How? Through Guru Parampara. Those who are actually divine can see the universal form in the Lord, universal form of the Lord. But one cannot be divine without being a pure devotee of Krishna. So, Dibbang dadamite chaksham, dibbogyan, dibbochakshu. We know that word, dibbochakshu. But Prabhupada had clearly mentioned dibbochakshu means divine eye. Vision means when one becomes devotee of Krishna. There is dibbochakshu. The devotees, however, but actually in the divine nature and who have divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of the Lord. Why this purport is system is required? Because sometimes people think for seeing Krishna, Arjuna did not require universal Dibba Chakshu, divine vision. But for seeing universal form, Arjuna needs divine vision. So that means universal form is more powerful than Krishna's form. By reading the naturally you can conclude in such way. For seeing Krishna, no need of divine form. Everybody is seeing that time. But for seeing universal form, Arjuna needs in divine vision. So how do you naturally conclude? We naturally conclude that the universal form is more powerful than Krishna's form. But it is not right. Why? Because devotees are not interested to see that divine form. They are not habituated. They are happy with it. That is why, as they are habituated to that, they are habituated to see 200 form. That is why to see that form, they need divine vision. It does not mean that as it was required divine vision, that is why universal form is more powerful than 200 form. As described in the previous verse, Arjuna desired to see the 400 form of the Lord Krishna as Vishnu. And he was actually afraid of the universal form. In these words, there are some significant words, just like Vedo, Yoggo, Odhyanoi, which refers to study Vedic literature and the subject matter of sacrificial evolutions. Veda refers to all kinds of Vedic literatures, such as the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sham, and Atharva, and the 18 Puranas, the Upanishads, and the Vedanta. One can study this at home or anywhere else. Similarly, there are Sutras, Kalpa Sutras, and Mimamsa Sutras for studying the method of sacrifice. Danoi refers to charity which is offered to a suitable party, such as those who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Similarly, pious activities refers to the Agnihotra and the prescribed duties of the different castes, and the voluntary acceptance of some bodily pains is called tapasya. So one can perform all these, can accept bodily penances, give charity, study the Vedas, etc. But unless he is a devotee like Arjuna, it is not possible to see the universal form. Those who are impersonalists are also imagining that they are seeing the universal form of the Lord. But from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the impersonalists are not devotees. Therefore, they are unable to see the universal form of the Lord. There are many persons who create incarnations or who claim themselves as incarnation. They falsely claim an ordinary human to be an incarnation. There are many persons who create incarnations. They falsely claim an ordinary human to be an incarnation. But this is all foolishness. We should follow the principles of Bhagavad. Otherwise, there is no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. Although Bhagavad Gita is considered the preliminary study of the science of God, still it is so perfect that it enables one to distinguish what is what. The followers of a pseudo incarnation may say that they have also seen the transcendental incarnation of God, the universal form, but that is unacceptable because it is clearly stated here that unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot see the universal form of God. So one first of all has to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Then he can claim that he can show the universal form of what he has seen. A devotee of Krishna cannot accept false incarnations or followers of false incarnations. So after that, Krishna showed his 400 form, and after that he showed his 200 forms. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Go.